everyone, Carol here with another fantastic video for you today. If you haven't subscribed, please do so by tapping the subscribe button below. Tonight I'm going to be using a 14-inch Dollar Tree wreath form, and you can tell it looks a little funky. It looks like I got a whole lot of ties on it. So what this method is that you put, I'll start at a section. In each section, on the inner section, you put a hole pipe cleaner at the bar and at the other bar. And then you put a hole pipe cleaner on the outer section with a full one. Then you go in and you put a half pipe cleaner here in the middle of the two in the inner ring, and then one on each of the bars on the outside. So reason these are half pipe cleaners is because these are going to get mesh only. They're not going to get any ribbons, okay? Only the hole pipe cleaners are going to get ribbons. So, and I'll tell you where I came up with my color scheme. This is Share the Joy of Christmas. Santa here is sort of antique-y looking. So we're not going to do a lot of high glitter tonight or anything like that. We're actually, and then the red in this is more leaning towards a deep burgundy color. So with that said, what we're going to be using tonight is a burgundy mesh. I only had this with a slight full in it, but that's going to be okay. That's the only part of the glitter we're going to have tonight. Then I'm matching it, and this is deco mesh with the full, and it's 10 inches. And this one here is a polypropylene, which is plastic, just like deco mesh, but it has jute fibers running in it. And it's a natural sort of antique looking color. Okay, so what we're going to do, just like with any poof method, we're going to get a zip tie that I told myself, oh, I need zip ties for tonight. Well, I do. So let me grab a couple of zip ties here. So I'm just going to sort of move this up. So with doing any kind of a poof, you're going to just, since I'm using two colors, I'm going to layer it on top of each other. I'm just going to scrunch it up like I normally would. Okay, I want to leave my, let's do that again because my other side didn't want to cooperate. There we go. You want to leave these edges to the outside part. Okay, just like with any other one. I'm going to go ahead and trim that a little bit. I want to start, but tonight I'm going to start on these half pipe cleaners, okay? And so I'm going to go right before this half pipe cleaner here, and I'm going to take my zip tie, and just like doing the regular poof method, you're going to zip tie this little thing down right in front of that half. And that's the reason I've got them color coded to a brown and to a white, because I'm going to go and do all of my half pipe cleaners, the brown ones first, with the poof. Then we're going to come back over it, and you'll crisscross doing the half ones. Then we're going to come back over it, and we're going to crisscross to the full ones. Okay, so let me cut that off. So again, I'm not going to use this half pipe cleaner. I'm going to just measure out, if I can get the mesh unstuck here. I'm going to do 10-inch poofs tonight. So I started on the outer. I'm going to bring it to the inside to this half pipe cleaner. Okay, remember what I said about these not going to get any ribbons or anything? So once we twist these, I'm just going to take it and I'm going to bend it under, because I'm not going to use that again. So there's our poof. So what you're going to do is you're going to pull them apart. Okay, you're going to make one burgundy and one the off-white, like so. Okay, the next one, what I'm going to do, you can either leave it like this or you can do it the opposite way. And I think I'm going to do it the opposite way. So I'm going back out to the outside again. We're doing what's called the Busy Bee crisscross method. Brenda Gallo came up with this, so we're not going to be using this one again. So this one's a little longer. I'm just going to trim it off so it doesn't stick on anyone. So let's pull it the opposite way this time. This is going to be more of a traditional Christmas wreath with, you know, more of the traditional colors. Now, I know glitter has been out for years and everything, but I can still remember back, and this is probably telling my age a lot, that, you know, we didn't have a lot of stuff that glittered. And what we got in our stockings was fruit, chestnuts, and different things like that. So we're going to take it to the tin again. We're going to go back to the inside. Okay, we're nearly around the first crisscross, or through with the first crisscrossing. And like I said, we're not going to be using these ties. That's why I'm chopping them off and doing away with them. Okay, so right now I'm going right back in to where I zip tied that down to, right there. And I'm going, this is the last one of the brown ties. I got some really pretty ribbons. They're more of traditional ribbons tonight, but I think that they're going to go well with this. Nice to see everyone tonight. All right, now as you can see, all I've got left is white ties on the board, on the frame, board, whatever. I'm just going to open them up a little bit so I can see them a little bit better as I go around. You may have to stand on my head for some. Okay, so since I tied this off, we're still going to gather it up just like we've been doing, but this time I want to, this is on the outside, that's on the outside, so I'm going to go ahead and jump over to this first one right here, and then when we come back we'll jump back over to this one. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm doing still a 10-inch poof. You just want to tie it, make sure you tie it down really good. And these will stay, excuse me. So what I'm going to do is just pull the mesh out like I did before, so that we still have the two colors showing, the burgundy and the neutral. Okay. I'm going to go to this outside one this time. I got my tie caught. There's very little space in there for my big old fingers. Okay, we're going to pull them apart again, opposite each other. To maintain our look. Okay, so let's see where we're at. Yep, got one more to the outside, then it's done. Done. And there it is. It's gotten so thick you can't see it. You still, with this method, have some mesh left. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and cut it off. We won't be needing it anymore. I'm going to flip it over. I'm going to go ahead and run mine up and under this one. Just preference. I didn't get that as snug as I want it. And I'm going to use a zip tie to go ahead and zip tie the end down. And now we've got our base. Okay. I'm going to show you all the signs before we move on to ribbon. See how these colors really make by doing this? Because this is sort of antique-y color. So this really makes these colors come out. But they're not overbearing. Like if I'd have just used one of them. Tonight we're going to be placing them to the side in bows. But let's get on with the ribbons. The ribbons I have for us tonight is, like I said, we're not going to be using, oh thank you guys, is we're going to be using this, it's a plaid, and it's more of a deeper, if you'll see putting it up next to the burgundy, it's more of a deeper red and off-white. I'm going to match it with a red, and then the trim is just a small gingham check. Put that back together. Then on the next ties, we're going to be using, it's green, it's red, but it's got Santa's presents in it. This is to bring out some of the green just in the clover, but what is Christmas without a little green in it, right? And then I love, this is my favorite ribbon of the season, is I found this, it's just a little dash, but it's got your red and your greens in it. And those pair really well together. So we're only going to be using, and even in the bow tonight, we're just going to be using 1.5 inch ribbons. We're not going to be using any 2.5 inch ribbons tonight. So what I like to do, these ribbons are cut at 12 inches. Thank you. And I'm going to lay the larger solid gingham check, or if you want to call it a red and tan buffalo check, on top. Whenever you, whichever ribbon you put on the top usually becomes your more predominant ribbon. I just fold them in half, make like a little bird wings. Okay. Then I twist them. We're not going to be putting anything else in our ties tonight. This is just a simple Santa wreath. I like to pull mine apart. And you can see, even with 12 inches, cut at 12, they're plenty long for the poufs that we made. Okay. I wanted the mesh to be able to show because of the sign. And it is such a large sign. Like I said, it was a garden stake that I took apart. Turn your ties to the back. Love this Christmas ribbon. I got that at the Wreath shop. Let's get some ribbons on the top. So there's actually 6 around the perimeter, and there's 6 on the top. So I feel very blessed in that area. Okay, this is what we've got, War Eagle. This is what we've got so far. Like I said, it's not real bold, in your face, overloaded, but it's beautiful, just the same. Okay, here is our sign. We're going to put him off to the side. What I do when I put my signs on, this is a very thick, probably a 1/4 inch board, a wood board. What I do is I take my, these are pipe cleaners, and I staple them. Then I lay glue down, and then I twist it and let them dry. The sign this size, I got 4 points, and if you can notice, they're all willy-nilly. The reason I did that, I sort of located where I wanted my sign just to be set off at, but I still wanted to have good tie points on it before I put it on. Go Broncos! So, let's sort of get it up here. Yeah, this was the side I measured for. See, second guessing myself. Yeah, there he goes. And since there's still a little hole in the center, I wanted to make sure he set really nice up here on the top. So first, let me get my little cheater needle. Okay, I don't know what I'd ever done with these. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put one in here. I'm going to go through the mesh. As you can tell, when I said I marked them sort of willy-nilly, I did that because I know right where the wires on your frame is. And that's how I marked them. There we go. You always want to tie your sign to your frame. You can't trust tying it to the mesh. Okay. Yank. I don't want to squish it, but I want it to be able to be secure. Okay. So probably 2 of them would have been good. But when you go to lean it up sometimes, and it's a heavier sign or a bigger sign, it'll pull everything forward. Okay. Love it. Love it, love it. We're going to make 2 bows for it tonight. Yay. And like I said, we're going to make them out of 1.5 inch ribbons. Ah, thanks. Oh, you're so sweet. Thanks for sharing. Let me get this one tied on, and we'll make us a bow. A simple bow that's really easy to make, but looks awesome. Because we're not going to be doing a glamour bow or drama or anything like that tonight. This is more about traditional Christmas. Get back up there. Okay. How's that look so far, guys? Look okay? Thank you, guys. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring in these 2 ribbons that we used. All of them. I know I don't have much of that, but I got another row. Then we're also going to go ahead and bring in just a solid red. And then we're going to do a little farmhouse green gingham. Okay. I guess that's it. So, let's get started. I want to use, let's go bold to home. Okay, so what I'm going to do is this, I'm going to take this and I'm just going to measure it. I'm only going to put 8-inch tail. Let's go ahead and dovetail it. Let's just do it while we're going there. So I'm going to take 8 inches. I'm going to find my middle. I'm going to twist it. Okay? I'm just going to leave it straight. I'm going to go ahead and want to twist it. Get up there. And I'm going to make this about 5.5 inches. Yeah, it can stand to be about 5.5. Because we don't have a whole lot of real estate and I'd like to have 2 bows. So I found it easier if as far as the center of your bow, is if you go ahead and put it in and then twist it on one side. So I'm going to go ahead and make this about 5.5 inches also. So what I do is I just take it and push it down in there. So on your last loop, you really don't have to twist it. You just leave it out straight. Just smooth it out. So we're going to do the same thing on this end. We're going to cut it to 8. Put that ribbon to the side. We're going to go ahead and dovetail it. Okay. So let's go ahead and let's do. I don't want to really do 2 checks in one place. So let's do this little, my favorite one. Dovetail it. Now this time what I'm going to do, instead of 8, I'm going to do it at 7.5. A 7.5 inch tail. Okay. I'm going to come over here in this loop here. See, I'm just folding it and I'm just going to slide it down in there. So this one we did at 5.5. We're going to back this one up and we're going to do it at 5. Okay, so see how I have it in there? Then I'm going to twist it on this side. I was twisting it and putting it down in there, and the center of my bows, no matter how much I worked with them, I couldn't get get it to break loose in the center. So this is what I came up with. It may not work for everybody. It works for me. So 7.5. This is another way on a bow like this that you could have more expensive ribbon. Boy, I cut that at a messed up angle. You could have more expensive ribbon because you're not using a whole lot of one ribbon. So now that we've got that, let's go ahead and, why not? Let's do a solid red. We're going to go ahead and dovetail it. So this one's going to be at 7. The last one is 7.5. So you just twist it and put the right side up right here on your tail. And that way when you go back over it, you've already got the, so this is going to be 5, right? No, 4.5. And then I just lay it down in there, turn the sides in, so we're going to do 4.5. Then I take it, holding this other side, and I twist it. And I'm able to get my ribbon to lay out flatter. Like I said, it's what everyone is used to. So now I'm just gonna, and let me tell you, I've watched a lot of people, and everyone, you know, does a little bit different. So we did this at 6.5. Now we're going to go in with our green check. I love this. So we did a 6.5, so we're going to do a 6. And since our last loop was 4.5, this is going to be 4. And we're going to twist. Get in there. Okay. Five and a half. It's getting smaller and smaller. Three and a half. Twist it. Three and a half. My nose is itching, so them jute fibers. What did I say? 5.5. If it's off, we can trim it. And now I left the really pretty one, the Christmas presents, for last. So I'm just going to do this at, let's see what I did with 5.5. I'm going to do this one at 5. We're just going to twist it. This one's going to be at 3. Okay. I need to sharpen my scissors. I bought a sharpener, used it once, and I put it up somewhere. Imagine that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a pipe cleaner. On these type of bows, I prefer to use a pipe cleaner. I haven't practiced them enough to use a zip tie. So I like to go up under it. Then I like to pull my pipe cleaner in between these two deals. And I like to even them out up here to the side. Okay? And I just pull them snug. One of your pegs will feel like it wants to fall through. In there, I don't know if you can see the divot. You want to make sure that your pipe cleaner, you pull it on around to where that divot is inside it. You don't want to lose your stack. So I put my thumb here on the top and I spread my two fingers in the back. Okay? Then I pull real tight. Let me get it. It's sort of wanting to go south for a minute. Pull it real tight. And then I just do 5 twists. And that's it. Oops. There you go. Let me scoot this out of the way. The easiest way I've seen to fluff one of these bows like this right here is just lay it down flat on your deal. Go ahead and move your loop side this way, your tail this way. The opposite loop side, tail. Go to your next layer and move your tail and your loop. Swing it around. So you're going to go a tail. They're the opposite of the ones that you swung around the first time. Let me get the pipe cleaner out of the way. Okay. So then you're going to do, if we did a tail this time, we're going to do a loop. And then we're going to take the tail to the other side. Swing it around. So we did a tail. We're going to swing a loop around. And we're going to swing a tail around. This time it's going to be a tail and a loop. You can move them however you want to. So we have a loop. We're going to do a tail. And we're going to swing our loop around because they're stacked on top of each other. So you can move them because they're going to be more like a stack. So since we did a tail here, we're going to go to a loop over here this time. And we're going to make that tail come, come this way. Going to make our loop and our tail. You may have to get up under it. Tell it who's boss. So this time on the top, we're going to make our loop go one way, our tail, our loop, same way, and then the opposite on your other side. With using a pipe cleaner, if you find out like this, I didn't measure it good enough, you can always pull and get them if it's slipped out of your measurement zones. There, now they're straight. So then what I like to do is I like to put it on my wreath and then we'll fluff it up here on the wreath. It's sort of similar to using a fluff box because you've got something holding it down. Okay, so let's see. I think I want to do it. Decisions. I like it to be about right there. Let me get my other one. Like I always said, make sure that you tie your bow or anything that you put into a wreath off on your wire frame. Okay. So now I'm just going to pull on him a little bit because I want it to set up higher, and I left room for that. So now in order to fluff it, you're just going to come underneath to where you've got your loops, because you've already put them pretty much where you want them. So these here, your tails, just take your finger and run them under it. Okay? The same thing, just going around it. And if you see something you don't like where it's at, move it. All you got to do is twist it on top of the other one and move it. I like my tails to curl. Thank you, Carol. And I like my loops to be sort of fluffy. Excuse me. So you just keep going around it. Like I said, the wreath, you can pull, you can yank. This is sort of like your fluff box now. You can go down to the center of them. If you find that some of your ribbon is puckered or whatever in the center, perfect time to fix it. Let the ribbon do the walking. Ooh, we didn't make that one pretty. For that pretty antique. That is just a gorgeous ribbon. If you find you've got some colors that you don't like beside each other, move them. That's all you've got to do. That's why I like to do a pipe cleaner, Chanel stem or whatever you want to call it, instead of a zip tie lots of times, especially on these types of bows. Let's open these up really pretty up here, make them stand out proud. I don't like how long this one is a little bit, so let's just trim it off a little. Doesn't matter. Okay. You'll have to go back around and straighten your other tails up. That's quite all right. Now that is a fabulous bow. What do you think, guys?